Between the disorienting blur and the strange guttural noises, the kid wakes up to the unmistakable smell of meat roasting over an open flame. His first instinct is to think he's at some high-end glamping retreat, and his mouth is already watering for the feast. But as he tries to lunge toward the food, he realizes his hands and feet are bound tight. He's not a guest at this barbecue. He's the main course. Suddenly, a system interface pops up, notifying him that his mission is to survive 12 hours against a horde of savages. The girls he was with have vanished, replaced by two hulking giants looking at him like he's a snack. Taking in the size of these guys and the prehistoric beasts circling the sky, it hits him. He's definitely not on the map anymore. This whole mess had started 12 hours earlier, when he first washed up on the beach, still trying to process how he got there. He remembered accompanying a certain Sister Zhang to buy jewelry yesterday, taking a quick nap, and then waking up on this godforsaken island. He wondered if this was divine punishment for hanging around wealthy socialites, but the scenery didn't give him much time for reflection. He ran into some guys who looked like they were wearing low-budget caveman cosplay. Lacking even an ounce of survival instinct, he actually shouted at them to ask for directions. The response he got was a spear whistling past his ear. He took off running, still half convinced it was a hidden camera show with very dedicated actors. He was sure it was some TV prank, and in a way, he was right. The realism was 100%, and the only thing the production saved money on was the protagonist's life insurance. With the system screen demanding he survive, he had to find a way out, or the concept of dinner for two was about to get very literal. The joke ended when another spear tore through his side. With no director around to yell, "Cut!" the searing pain confirmed that death here was very real. His escape attempt lasted all of 5 seconds before a heavy blow to the back of the head sent him into darkness. They tied him up like a pig for the slaughter. It looked like his career as a protagonist was over before it even started. But right then, a notification pinged. He'd survived the pursuit time limit, and the mission was complete. He received a survival pack and an attribute point that practically breathed life back into his body. While the savages stoked the fire, Chen Li started scrolling through his menu like he was specing out an RPG character. As he opened his rewards, he was suddenly flooded with survival skills and linguistic expertise. Now the guy's grunts actually made sense. They were arguing over who was the strongest while waiting for the feast to begin. Chen Li was already feeling like the chosen one, fantasizing about founding his own civilization, quite a delusion for someone still tied in knots. He also scored an axe of very impressive proportions. Without wasting a second, he dumped his point into strength and snapped his restraints like they were made of sewing thread. The buff was instantaneous. He felt like he could flip a truck with one arm. The cannibals realized dinner was getting rowdy and lunged at him, determined not to miss out on dessert. But Chen Li was already brandishing his axe, spinning a tall tale about being a messenger from the heavens sent to punish them. Pure audacity. The troglodytes couldn't have cared less about his divine resume, and their leader, a massive wall of muscle in a leather harness, leaped forward with a giant bone club, ready to prove that no system screen can save you from blunt force trauma at dinner time. Chen Li is locked in a life-or-death struggle against that hulking brute, and to make matters worse, the system just dropped a quest with a penalty that really stings. If he fails, he loses his axe. In a world like this, being unarmed is basically a death sentence. The big guy lunges at him, swinging a massive bone club, but Chen Li holds his ground, and the impact is so violent it shatters the very ground beneath them. Chen Li is genuinely floored by the raw, overwhelming power these cavemen possess, but then he remembers he's got a few system-enhanced tricks of his own. He absorbs the blow and counters with enough force to snap the leader's weapon right in half. The bone shards fly everywhere, and the crowd goes dead silent as they watch their boss's favorite toy get reduced to splinters. That's when it becomes clear the leader is a sore loser. Instead of backing down, he starts throwing a literal temper tantrum and orders his entire pack to lynch the kid. Talk about a fragile ego. With a mob of hungry cavemen on his heels, Chen Li has no choice but to bolt. He can't believe his luck. He's 24 years old and being hunted by a pack of guys who haven't even discovered soap yet. He skids to a halt and lets out a roar, trying to act like the toughest guy in the valley. Surprisingly, it seems to work. The whole gang suddenly pulls a U-turn and hauls ass in the other direction like they've just seen the devil himself. Chen Li lets it go to his head for a second, thinking he's finally the alpha around here, but reality hits him like a freight train. They weren't running from him. They were running from what was standing right behind him. The system pings with a mandatory side quest: drive the beast off, or become the first protagonist-flavored snack in prehistoric history. A massive saber-toothed tiger is practically breathing down his neck. He realizes instantly that trying to fight this thing head-on is a suicide mission. This prehistoric cat isn't here to play. It pounces with a weight and speed that Chen Li simply can't block. He's slammed into the dirt by the first strike, and the beast leaves its mark, carving deep gashes right across his face. With his body battered and his axe feeling like it weighs a ton, he knows a fair fight is just a fast track to the graveyard. But just as the end looks certain, a desperate idea flashes through his mind. The thing is a monster, sure, but no matter how big the predator, fire always levels the playing field. He tries to create some space with a desperate slide, but the tiger treats him like a personal scratching post. He's learning the hard way that these felines love to toy with their food before they swallow. He scrambles away, the beast's hot breath on his heels, until he finally spots his campfire in the distance. He lunges for the embers while the tiger is already calculating the calories in its dessert. Just as the beast leaps for the kill, Chen Li grabs a flaming branch and jams it right into the creature's face. The fire does its job. The animal recoils, its pride scorched, giving Chen Li a moment of peace he honestly didn't think he'd see. It looks like the gamble paid off, and he even finds the nerve to mock the overgrown kitty a little. But a strange low sound cuts his celebration short. He hasn't scared the beast off yet, and now something else is stirring, something that has no intention of asking for permission. It's like the universe took it personally that he's still alive. The giant tiger unleashes a deafening roar, sending every bird in the forest into a panicked flight. Chen Li stands his ground, torch held high, as the beast bares fangs that look like jagged butcher knives. But at the last second, the predator has a change of heart. It whips around and bolts into the brush as if it just saw its own death. The system immediately chimes in to confirm the mission was a success, granting him attribute points, and more importantly, the absolute awe of the cavemen watching from the shadows. There's no time for a victory lap though. Another strange noise echoes nearby, and Chen Li decides not to stick around to find out what made it. As he retreats, he dumps his new points into strength and agility, feeling a sudden, massive surge of speed. He reaches a nearby ravine and finds the rest of the tribe huddled together, paralyzed with fear. Leaning into the moment, Chen Li strikes a heroic pose with his axe. He starts selling them a story, claiming that little kitty was nothing more than a stray with an attitude problem that he scared off with a single look. He swears the beast ran away with its tail between its legs and won't be bothering them again. Silence follows, and for a second, he worries they didn't understand a word he said. Suddenly, a blonde girl collapses at his feet, sobbing with pure relief. She hails him as their guardian angel, thanking him for saving their lives while the rest of the tribe drops to the dirt in worship. In a world where the peak of technology is a sharpened stick, this guy just went from potential snack to living god in under 5 minutes. Chen Li is already feeling like the emperor of prehistory, his ego inflating as he looks down at his new subjects. The system confirms his new leadership status, rewarding him with 3 jars of medicinal salve and a point in stamina. Without missing a beat, he opens his inventory and pulls out a jar of ointment that looks like a generic drugstore brand. He gets a bit annoyed when he reads the fine print. The medicine only lasts 24 hours once opened. Typical system, never giving away anything for free. He slathers it over the gashes on his back, and the wounds vanish instantly. Now that he's the boss, he decides to win some hearts and minds by distributing the rest of the salve among the wounded. The cavemen watch in stunned silence before erupting into cheers, praising him for the miracle. Chen Li plays the humble savior, but he knows the truth. If he doesn't heal them, he won't have anyone to watch his back when things get ugly. Taking advantage of the peace, he orders them to step forward and state their names and skills. Shigu, the former chief, starts by puffing out his chest, boasting that he was the bravest warrior in the tribe before the protagonist showed up. Next is Shosho, a girl who specializes in climbing trees to gather fruit, but before Chen Li can respond, he's nearly floored by the impact of 2 massive arguments that leave him dazed. The culprit is Asoka, a blonde with a legendary set of assets. She greets him with a flirtatious smile and introduces her 2 kids, who don't even have names yet. Chen Li looks at the boys, then looks back at their mother's face, wondering if she's already looking for a volunteer to help her make a third. Last in line is Shun Lije, a kid with a bowl cut that completely covers his eyes. He claims he has no powers, but his hearing and vision are sharper than anyone else's. Chen Li's face lights up. He just found his personal radar for scouting the map. With the census finished, Chen Li gives them a grand speech about being a civilized man who has come to share his vast knowledge with their people. In short, he promises that if they follow him, they'll eat meat every single day. The cavemen roar in celebration, cheering for the promised feast like they just hit the jackpot. The system just got demanding and dropped a brutal quest on him. He has to build housing, register the tribe, and hit 50 members in under 18 days. Chen Li looks at his ragtag group of 15 and wants to die. He's 35 people short of his quota, and he's got no choice but to go out and find recruits, whether he uses a silver tongue or a heavy fist. Night falls under the twin moons, and reality finally hits him. Being the chief sounds amazing in theory, but sleeping in the freezing grass surrounded by guys who snore like freight trains is absolutely miserable. Since his hunger won't let him sleep, he remembers the meat left behind earlier and decides to risk it. He knows whatever beast scared off that tiger might still be lurking nearby, but when it's a choice between fear and starvation, his stomach wins every time. Axe in hand, he slips into the woods alone. He moves through the shadows until he finds the jackpot. Roasted meat, and even a white rabbit that looks like it was served on a silver platter. He's heading back, thrilled with his feast, when the atmosphere suddenly shifts. In the pitch black, he takes a wrong step and lands hard on his ass. But as he tries to scramble up, he realizes he didn't just fall into any old ditch. He's standing right in the middle of a massive footprint. Chen Li freezes, staring at the sheer scale of the hole, desperately trying to convince himself it belongs to some giant ostrich, but not even the world's weirdest mutant bird has talons like these. It hits him. In these woods, he isn't the predator, he's the next course. In this savage prehistoric world, where giant reptiles roam like they own the place, he either finds real shelter or he becomes fertilizer. He can't keep leaving his neck exposed while monsters the size of skyscrapers are on the loose. He makes it back to the tribe at sunrise, only to find total chaos. His subordinates are tearing into each other over a piece of raw meat like it's the last meal on Earth. They're fighting over scraps with a desperation that shows just how much they've been suffering. Chen Li has to let out a war cry just to get these guys to stop acting like animals and remember who's in charge. Seeing that they don't even know how to start a fire, he realizes he's got more work ahead of him than a father with 10 spoiled brats. The guy in the bone mask, who's already the chief's #1 fan, swears eternal loyalty just because he brought food. Meanwhile, the kid with the bowl cut who tried to hunt him yesterday is so guilty he doesn't know where to look. Chen Li seizes the moment, calms them down, and explains his grand vision, creating a home. Neanderthal Barbie asks what that even is, since the word home isn't in her vocabulary. He explains it's a place where the people you love live together and protect one another. The pitch works perfectly, maybe too perfectly. The blonde takes the living together part very literally and lunges into a hug that nearly snaps his ribs. She's already imagining starting a family with him, while the poor guy is busy suffocating in her grip. After surviving the hug, Chen Li carves out the blueprints for his future city on a stone. They need mountains to the north for cover and a river to the south for water. Basic survival strategy. He starts rambling about ships and exploration, while the others just nod along, clearly not understanding a single word. That's when Bowl-Cut mentions he knows the perfect spot to the east, but there's a catch. The territory is crawling with dangerous wild cattle. To the tribe, they're monsters, but Chen Li is already looking at the menu. In his head, there's no risk, only burgers, milk, and pack animals. He's decided those beasts are his next pets, and he's going after them today. Axe raised high, he rallies his people to claim the land. It's time to show those cows who really runs this neighborhood. What an absolute boss. This guy is already checking the menu before the hunt even starts. If our MC is out here taming wild beasts just to turn them into burgers, you guys better tame that like button and smash it. Subscribe to join the tribe and drop a comment on which manhwa you want me to cover next. Catch you in the next one.